So Jackie slept over. What did you do? You slept over Stuttering John's apartment last night?
Yeah.
Why'd you have to stay in town?
I went to dinner last night with Tony Bon Jovi.
Huh.
Who's Tony Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi's cousin.
Oh, the guy who owns that
recording
record?
studio.
Oh,
The guy owns Power Station.
Jackie.
He's always networking.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I'm working on a project with Tony Bon Jovi. He's thinking of producing my next record.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Not really.
We're cooking up a really good one. You know what? Jackie's like, he's like Pete Best. Like, he picks up all the projects that I'm not interested in.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, you know, he's like he's having dinner with Tony Bon Jovi and all that kind of stuff. He sort
all
of
the
picks
stuff
up.
you won't
He
do.
picks up all the people, the peripheral people who've been guests on the show like once.
Well, he was really funny yesterday talking about his trip to Vegas to film this TV show.
Right.
Reviews are in, by the way.
Because he said to Fred and I, he's talking about how well he was treated.
Yeah.
And he said, man, you know, the exposure of this show is really great. You just don't even get it. But when I walked out there, everybody was just talking about everything that goes on in the show. And it's not even like I'm the main beanpole. But they treated me like I was royalty.
Yeah. It was good to step out from out of Howard's shadow.
I'm not one of the main players. I'm like one of the peripheral guys. I'm not the main beanpole.
Yeah.
I said, is that a reference to you?
Yeah, that's a reference to me, the beanpole. Another angry reference.
Oh, you're not calculated to find its way back here at all. Please.
So anyway, Jackie was over at the, is that the new name for me, the main beanpole?
Just kind of, I knew I had to feed her something. So.
Hey, anyway, so Jackie supposedly slept over Stuttering John's yesterday, and he woke up this morning.
Was it planned to stay at John's?
Yes.
So Jackie's like, uh-oh, what's this? So he evidently stayed over there, and Jackie must have woken up this morning and just went in and used John's roommate's toothbrush.
No, of course I didn't.
You sure you didn't?
I told him I did. He said, did you brush your teeth? I said, yeah. He said, what'd you do it with? I said, with Mike's toothbrush. And he said, you swear? And I knew he was fishing for stuff for the show, and I swore.
Oh, okay. So you didn't?
Of course not.
Because
you want to smell my breath? I got garlic on my breath that would kill you.
Yeah, he was telling me that the reason he asked was because Jackie's breath reeked.
Oh.
So there's your answer.
Jackie always reeks.
I thought you were going to yell at me. I ate so much garlic last night.
No, I don't smell it yet.
I'm finally getting smart and realizing what I say is going to come find me in here. So.
Right.
Oh, so you're lying outside of the...
Right.
All right.
Good for you.
Throw the truth in.
Very calculated.
Very calculated.
I knew he was fishing.
And now, we're back with Ace Award nominee and personal friend of Mark Harris, Howard Stern.
Well, there's two ends of the spectrum that are interesting. We got to do the news here. And by the way, just for confirmation, Stuttering John tells me, Stuttering John had Jackie sleep over his apartment. Jackie's roommate does say that he woke up this morning, Jackie had used John's roommate's toothbrush.
He's on the phone right now, Howard.
It's not true.
It is true. What happened? Mike?
Yeah.
What happened?
I go into my bathroom this morning. My toothbrush is out of the toothbrush holder, and the brush is soaked. So it could only be one, 2 and 2 equals, Jackie used my toothbrush. I think he did it once before.
Ooh.
I couldn't use the toothbrush.
Jackie, how do you use it? Become clean on this one.
I might even saw you do it this morning.
Standing there watching me brush my
You did do it this morning.
Yeah.
You're right in the bedroom.
How did you lie?
You're
Jackie.
You're such a liar.
You did it?
And I washed it off.
How do you use somebody else's toothbrush, man? You
My
are.
whole life.
And I
Wait,
think...
get closer to that microphone. I want to hear every word of this.
I think he did it once...
Let me ask you something. Don't you get nervous using somebody... aside from the fact what you're doing to him, God knows what's brewing in your mouth.
Oh, stop that.
What do you mean, oh, stop that? Who knows what's in your mouth? You use somebody else's... I wouldn't even use my wife's toothbrush. That's so disgusting.
That's gross.
You don't think that's disgusting? And you don't know what's in Mike's mouth.
He doesn't even care. He doesn't think that way.
Wow.
I washed it off.
He knows it's wrong because he lied about it.
No, I just like toying with John.
Why did you lie about it if you weren't embarrassed?
What?
But then you had me call Stein and tell him that he could use the toothbrush
I didn't
again.
have you call anyone.
No, Jackie
But maybe
back there,
maybe
Howard.
Mike wouldn't want to use. Maybe John's roommate wouldn't want to use his
Maybe
toothbrush
you
after
should
you
burn
use it.
You've never used somebody's toothbrush.
Never in my life. In my life.
Certainly
Never.
not without their
Roommates
permission.
in college.
Yeah, you're the only person I know who I've ever heard do this.
You're the only guys I ever heard of that don't.
Oh, come
Wait a minute,
on.
Howard,
Are
let
you
me tell you how insidious this is. John was back there very upset about this whole thing, and Jackie said to him, why do you invite somebody to stay at your brush?
What's your story, man? Don't you care about your health? I mean,
I guess not.
wow.
But how about Mikey's toothbrush? I mean, it's never mind.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want you using his toothbrush.
Why
threw it
did you
out.
want to wake him up?
Well, I threw it out.
Oh.
Did you throw it out?
Yeah, I got a little piece of lamb sandwich in there, too.
Hey, let me ask you something. Hey, Mike, what do you do when you realize? Did you brush your teeth this morning with it?
No, I didn't, because it was soaked.
I mean, the guy just grabs your toothbrush and starts using it?
But Howard, listen to this.
But he doesn't even know if you... I mean, you could have AIDS.
But Howard, last night, he slept over our old apartment. And then one morning I woke up and I brushed my teeth and I noticed that my toothbrush was damp, but I didn't think anything of it. And as I'm walking down the stairs...
Michael, wait a minute.
As I'm walking down the stairs, I go, oh my God, Jackie slept over. He may have used my brush.
I can't believe that. Oh, that pigsty that you guys live in. I don't know anybody who doesn't do this.
Jackie, that is so offensive.
And then to lie. You know it was wrong.
Ah.
That is so... I can't believe... Like, what do? Like, you rolled out of bed and you just...
Brush my teeth with his toothbrush.
You saw a toothbrush laying, but it was in a case.
No.
It wasn't? It was in the holder.
It was in the toothbrush holder. What do you... There's only one. Who else is going to be?
And you don't even know what's in his mouth. You don't know that he doesn't have thrush or AIDS or something. Herpes. You don't even care. It's like you just don't care.
Apparently, this is normal practice for Jackie. So if he's been in your home, he's used your toothbrush.
That's scary.
And then he goes, yeah, I cleaned it off after. Like he probably ran his thumb after it. And you weren't going to tell the guy that he uses toothbrush? I mean, that's so wrong. I mean, it's just like saying, like having sex with someone and telling them afterwards you have AIDS.
What did you wash
I
it
think
with?
it's a little different than
No, it isn't. It's not really. I mean, you used his toothbrush and didn't tell him?
It's very intimate.
It was going between his teeth and under his gums. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw him working hard at it.
Yeah, I mean, like you didn't even just do a little brush.
I was brushing.
He really is Howard.
No. I assumed it was your toothbrush. I didn't think it was Stein's.
there was a little blood in it, too.
Now he's guilty.
You know, it's one thing. Okay, so as bad as Jackie is, you think like, okay, you know, he probably said to himself, "I'll just put a little toothpaste on. At least my breath won't be so bad." Instead, he just like he does a real good cleaning.
Yeah.
Like,
But then he claims to have washed the toothbrush. How did he do that?
Yeah, how did you wash it afterwards?
Hot water.
Just ran some hot water over it. Oh, that's so wrong, man. In all seriousness, I don't know what you think.
It's after a night of eating chocolates.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's disgusting. And this is a guy who, like, you know, who has questionable health to begin with. He's got his nails rotting out of his head.
His breath, because he burped this morning in front of me,
Yeah.
reeked of like Caesar salad.
Yeah, but he has 10-nail syndrome or 20-nail syndrome where his nails are falling out of his head. He has to wear condoms on his fingers because he can't handle paper.
And
He's
he,
fooling around like this with his
Yeah,
and he
right.
doesn't think anybody should be upset if he's using their toothbrush.
And I'm sure, he ran his thumb without the nail on it all over the guy's toothbrush. Yeah, guess what? Now you've got 20-nail syndrome.
Look, you got 20-nail teeth.
Yeah.
20-nail mouth.
Yeah. Dude, that is so wrong.
But then he doesn't even put it back where it belongs. He just sort of throws it on a counter or wet.
Yeah, right, yeah, like, you know, at least put it back where maybe the guy won't find it.
Leave him a clue.
Yeah. And you just leave it on the sink. You know, I will not allow my toothbrush. I'll tell you how crazy I am. I don't allow my toothbrush to lay flat on any surface in the house. Like, it always has to hang off. You ask my wife. It hangs off the side of, like, a counter. Because I don't want the part that goes in my mouth laying on the counter.
Right.
Because there's germs all over that.
7. Longer?
He's doing work.
Yeah. I can't stand that with a toothbrush laying on a counter. So I always keep it a little bit
Do
off.
you think people let it lay on the counter? There's something wrong with them?
Listen, I know that's just a phobia of mine. Much as you think that the paper's somehow infecting your fingers. It's your phobia. So, I mean, which is really good. That's Jackie's obsessive-compulsive behavior coming through. So anyway, oh, come on. You know that the paper does not affect your fingers. It just doesn't. You've got a health problem.
Everyone's called it said that it's too much yeast in the system.
Of course. He drinks like a fish. There's more alcohol in his system than any person alive. He's more petrified than a mummy. And the guy is sitting there saying, the paper's hurting my fingers.
I have one question. If that was the case, case, why did his toenails fall out?
Why did his toenails fall out? Because he handles paper with his feet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fred, his toenails didn't fall out. He had them taken out.
Yeah, right. Because they were rotting.
But they were all screwed up.
Fred's exactly right. Jackie has convinced himself that by handling paper, his fingers are rotting. Which is, I mean, he's taking into account none of the things that he does all day. Drinks, eats like a maniac, eats everything that's bad.
My fingers were rotting away. I started using this stuff.
Of course.
And these things, and now they're not rotting away.
Yeah, and that's what you think
Yeah, but
he's
you
doing.
also stopped drinking. You also just stopped drinking, correct? For like months.
Maybe.
All I know is, Jackie, no offense, man, but you're not supposed to go over someone's house and use their toothbrush.
I apologize. I will never do that again. But
You do
guys
see
are
it's-
totally off base about my fingers.
Do you see it's wrong, though, to use someone else's toothbrush?
No, I didn't bring my overnight bag.
Well, he had his
I didn't know
bag
what I didn't know what I was
His beach bag.
His beach bag with deodorant and stuff, whatever he's got.
Yeah.
Oh,
He always carries deodorant.
I see.
No, I don't.
But you can see that it might upset someone if you use
I
the toothbrush.
see now. Yes, I did.
But you really didn't see it before.
Oh, my wife yells at me for it all the time, and I always tell her she's crazy.
And you use her toothbrush.
I never tell her.
Wow.
See?
But see, Howard, when I...
No, I don't.
I could not live with some. I would divorce my wife if she used my toothbrush. There are times
Why
I
don't
can
you
tell.
have your own?
I can tell when my wife moves my toothbrush in the medicine cabinet. I can tell when she does that because I keep it on this special piece of tissue paper that I keep changing because I don't want any germs on my toothbrush.
Well, see, I'll tell you how crazy I am. If somebody's with me somewhere and they put their toothbrush next to mine,
You're throwing it out. I know.
I'm out of it.
Can you imagine waking up and seeing Jackie doing a good scrubbing with your toothbrush? I mean, like going out of his way to make sure every piece of crap in his mouth is out. I gotta admit, Jackie, you got a good shine on those teeth this morning.
But when I asked him in the elevator, when he said he did, I go, Jack, are you kidding me? He goes, we did it all the time in college. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
He's convinced that it's like a normal thing.
That's why he doesn't get anything.
He's got every germ
Yeah.
already. They've learned to live
I
with it.
will live to pee on every one of your graves.
I like that, Mike. That's funny. Why do you call him Mikey Stein? What's that all
We've
about?
been calling him Stein.
You're like two gay lovers.
No, he's been...
Mikey Stein. The guy's name is not Stein. He's not even a Jew. He's an Italian.
No, because he played a Jewish talk show host on my NYU.
Yeah, but don't call him Mikey Stein.
No. The reason why it's stuck is because he hates to be called that. So then he hated it, and everyone called it to annoy him. And then it just kind of...
It's anti-Semitic. Imagine poor guy wasn't born Jewish. Now he has to go around people think he's Jewish.
He pulled me aside. He goes, John, do me one favor. All I ask for all my life, the one favor is, don't call me Stein, man. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, it's on his name.
Yeah, and then so when he said that, I said, well, that's gonna stick.
Hey, Mike.
Mike.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike.
Don't mind to stick my nose and left boogers in the mayonnaise jar.
Yeah, Jackie's the kind of guy who would pick his nose, put his fingers in the peanut butter jar, and just like, then expect
Put the
everyone else.
top back on.
Yeah.
You don't do that?
We do it all the time in college.
I never met anybody who didn't do that.
You're the only people I know who don't do that.
All right, Mike, I got to go.
All right, thanks, guys. Hey, Jack, you owe me a toothbrush.
Okay, Stein.
All right.
Mikey Stein.
But he looks kind of Jewish, too. He has that Jewish look to him.
Yeah. What's the Jewish look?
Uh-oh.
Well, I think the phase just shifted.
Yeah, I heard. Well, no, he just, now he's, growing this beard, like this, like his...
Like the House of David?
Yeah. He looks Jewish.
Like the House of David, right?
Yeah.
This is an excellent opportunity to promote some things that are coming up on Best Of. On Classic Best Of, we'll be playing one of Stuttering John's first ever appearances on the show, where he wrote a song with the lines about how a poor little Jew boy thought he was a coon.
Yeah, where I had to break it to John that I was half Jewish.
And then we'll also be rerunning When Jackie Walked Off the Show. Which we talked about last week.
That's a great show.
Yeah.
Great Best
Oh,
Ofs.
that time that he got upset.
Ooh, I want to
because
hear
of
that.
laughing
Probably the most uncomfortable
or
moment.
non-laughing at his jokes.
I'd like to start Best Of now and hear that. All right, let's take a break and let's get to some real news. News
Yeah.
other than my news, Robin.
Jackie toothbrush news.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this. A lot of discussion going on in here since Jackie's toothbrush admission.
Oh, yeah? What is it about? Well, what's the concern?
Let me understand something. What if somebody took a sip of your beer? Would you drink it after they took a sip? I'm just trying to understand the line. I'm just trying to understand where the line is drawn.
Jackie has no line.
no
Jackie
line.
was raised by wolves.
Right, he goes, I'm not busting your balls. I'm just trying to understand the line.
So, in other words, you've been running around here doing things to us that we don't know.
Yeah.
me.
All I know is there are people now putting their toothbrush under lock and key. And, you know, I was reading an article by dentists. You know, if he thinks I'm crazy, because I know he does. I was reading an article. No, you do think I'm crazy. I'm telling you, I read an article by a dentist. I read an article by a dentist who said that you should change your toothbrush every week, because what happens is when you brush, that is where the most bacteria form on your teeth. In your mouth is the dirtiest place on a person.
Haven't you ever heard that a dog's mouth is cleaner than your mouth?
Yeah, they say it's dirtier than even your buttocks, the inside of your buttocks. I swear to God, this is what they say about the germs and the horrible stuff that's in your mouth. That's why people get trench all the time. They get all this stuff, trench mouth. And the guy says, you ever hear that? What is it called? Thrush or trench mouth? What is it called, Robin?
That's very funny, trench mouth. I don't know what trench mouth is.
No, there's a problem called trench mouth.
I know, I've heard that, but I don't know what it is.
Because you got all this disease in your mouth. The guy said, change your toothbrush every week. Now, I don't go that far, but even so, that gives you an indication of how serious it is.
Do you know that they now sell these tubes that you can put your toothbrush in to sterilize them?
They're called hydroponic tubes.
That's right. Something like that.
Sure.
I think that's the grower toothbrush.
Right.
No, they are. They're selling these toothbrush sterilizers.
What if somebody... And then Jackie... And I said to Jackie, you know, you probably got a lot of good stories in you. You just don't know that they're good stories.
Right. You think it's something everybody does, but that's just you.
Yeah, because he goes, you know, that now I realize I knew a guy in college who used to masturbate into his family's dinner after he got into an argument with him.
And he didn't know that was wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
I once sneezed a gooey into my mother's yogurt.
That was the question that was floating around as we tried to determine if Jackie had actually done this.
Yeah.
Haven't you ever done this when you've slept overnight with a girl and you didn't know you were going to be there, so you weren't prepared?
No.
Didn't you use her toothbrush in the morning?
No. I might take my finger and put some toothpaste on it and try and sort of simulate a toothbrush, but no. I've
now, how many people in the room have done that?
I've never done it. Fred?
No.
Fred never got a girl before.
Right.
Billy? You ever do that?
Jackie?
I can't remember.
All the time. All right, anyway, let's do the news. Come on, this is crazy to sit and talk about what's happening.
I once vomited in her beef stew.
Hey, by the way, this will interest you. This is from a magazine. It's called Ladies' Home Journal. The question is, I've heard I can get sick from my own toothbrush. Is that true? Yes, particularly if you've been sick recently. When you come down with a cold or flu, your germs can continue to live in the bristles after you've recovered. I have so many patients who catch their colds from their own toothbrushes. Because toothbrushes are relatively warm and moist, viruses like them can live on the bristles for as long as they remain wet. Toss the toothbrush when your symptoms go away. Another precaution, don't store toothbrushes too close to the toilet. Even toilet bowls that appear clean can be filled with germs. Every time you flush, thousands of bacteria and virus particles are catapulted into the air, floating at least 5 feet up and 5 feet out. This is from Ladies' Home Journal.
How do I get now a stick so that I can flush my toilet?
I know. Flushing with the lid down is preferable, Robin.
Oh, okay, that I can do.
So forget about courtesy flushing, I guess. Some particles will still be released when you eventually lift the lid.
Oh.
But that way, Howard, it would all stick to the lid, so when you open the lid and sit back...
Well, then you try not to go about once a day.
My toilet's really clean. I clean it every day with my toothbrush.
To be safe, keep your toothbrush in a dry area. See, I'm not crazy. High off the floor, away from the bowl. If possible, store it in the medicine cabinet. That's where I keep mine.
Right.
Or a ventilated toothbrush case. You can also disinfect toothbrushes by dipping them in hydrogen peroxide or antiseptic mouthwash after each use. Jackie's busy using everyone's toothbrush.
He'll never catch his own cold.
Even this, can I get sick from using a public phone in a crowded area? Yeah, I don't want people on my phone. That's a new rule. Don't pick up my phone.